Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. At dahil nanonood ka pa rin hanggang ngayon sa last lesson natin, may surprise ako sa'yo.
I have you.
Okay, so for this last session, we are going to discuss about solving word problems involving quadratic function. This time, ito na yung part 2 natin. Mag-focus tayo sa minimum and maximum values. Gaya nga ng sabi ko kanina, may surprise ako sa inyo. At ang surprise na yon, sasagutan natin mismo yung mga learning tasks ninyo. Tulong ko na to sa inyo para malesen yung burden nyo sa word problems. Yun mismo yung iga-guide at ang ituturo ko sa inyong word problems. So, let's start! For our first example, the sum of two numbers is 29. Find the maximum possible product of the two numbers. For our solution, let x be the first number and the second number should be defined by 29 minus x. Let y be the maximum possible product of the two numbers. Then we will have y is equal to the product of x times 29 minus x, signifying the products of the first and second number. Then solving it, we will have y is equal to 29x minus x squared. The graph of y equals 29x minus x squared opens downward and has a maximum value which is equal to k, and it occurs at h. Solving the value of k, we have the formula k is equal to 4ac minus b squared over 4a. And for the value of h, we have negative b over 2a. Then substituting the values in our equation, a, b, and c, we will come up with k is equal to 4 times negative 1 times 0 minus 29 squared all over 4 times negative 1, or equal to 210.25. The two numbers that will give its maximum possible product are equal to h. Now, solving for h, we have negative 29 over 2 times negative 1. That is equal to 14.5. If x is 14.5, then 29 minus x is equal to 29 minus 14.5, or also equal to 14.5. Note that the two numbers, the first and the second number, are both 14.5. So for our first set of learning tasks, it says here that the sum of two positive integers is 35. What is the minimum sum of their squares? Also, for number 2, the rectangle has a perimeter of 100 centimeters. Find the greatest possible area for the rectangle. Ang sabi, the sum of two numbers is 35. So if that is the case, we can set the values of x as the first number, at yung second number naman natin ay yung 35 minus x. And let us try to find the minimum sum of their squares. So, ang sabi, kapag in-square daw natin yung first number at in-square din natin yung second number, ano daw yung minimum sum na pwede nating makuha base doon? So, we will have x squared plus the quantity of 35 minus x squared equals y. Pero, para makuha ang minimum sum, kailangan muna natin makuha yung minimum possible numbers. Ano ba yung magiging value ng dalawang number na yon? So, in that case, to solve for the minimum value, we will be using the concept of quadratic function. So we are going to use this identity that we have created to solve for the value of x. So we have x squared plus 35 minus x squared equals y. Then we simplify x squared plus expand the binomial by using the square of binomials, the square of the first term plus twice the product of the first and second term plus the square of the last term equals y. Then simplify natin yung mga factors na meron pang parenthesis. So we have x squared plus 35 times 35 is 1225. Then minus 70x, then plus x squared is equal to y. Next, combine we have 2x squared minus 70x plus 1225 equals y. Now we have our a, then b, and c. We try to solve for the value of h and k using the following numbers. So h is given by negative b over 2a, and k is given by c minus b squared over 4a. Substituting the values of our numbers a, b, and c to the formula, h is equal to negative 70 all over 2a. And k will be 1225 minus negative 70 squared over 4a. Calculating the values, we will have our final answer. H is equal to 35 over 2, and the value of k will be 1225 all over 2. We know for a fact that the maximum and the minimum values of our parabola is given by the vertex h comma k. And we are looking for the minimum sum of the squares. H will be our input, then our output will be the value of k. Since h is 35 over 2, we can counter check our values of h or yung values ng x natin if correct kapag ang minimum or maximum value natin dapat same yung dimensions or parehas na numbers yung makukuha natin. Let's say for instance, 35 over 2 is 17.5. Kapag na-minus natin yung x para makuha si second number, dapat 17.5 rin yung makuha natin. So you can try it or investigate it using your calculator. At lalabas dyan na 35 over 2 ang ating first number. At lalabas din, kapag nag-subtract ka na, 35 over 2 rin yung magiging value ng second number natin. So, ibig sabihin, correct tayo na yung value ng h natin sa first and second number will be the same. Yun yung pinakang clue na gagamitin natin since optimization problems like minimum and maximum value always use the perfect square as the maximum or the minimum value. So ano ngayon yung magiging final value nito? So after simplifying this expression, we can come up with 1225 over 4 plus 1225 over 4 as the value of our minimum sum of the squares. Adding this together, we will come up with our final answer will be 1225 over 2, the same with our value of k. Moving forward with our problem number 2, it says there that the rectangle has the perimeter of 100 cm. So, let us try to draw first a rectangle with P is equal to 100 cm. Then, find the greatest possible area for the rectangle. Ngayon, we are trying to look for the maximum or the greatest possible area na pwede nating makuha given the dimensions or yung perimeter ng ating rectangle. So in order to answer that problem, we need to recall some properties or rules sa ating geometry class. So, 'di ba, we know for a fact that the perimeter of a rectangle is equal to 2L plus 2W, where L and W are the length and width respectively. Then, for our area, we have naman length times width. So it says there that in our perimeter, we have 100 cm is equal to 2L plus 2 width. Diba? And we can divide it by 2 to simplify para magkaroon tayo ng 50 is equal to L plus W. And to get the maximum area, lagi ang maximum, laging Y, is equal to length times width naman. Pero paano natin masosolve to nang wala pa tayong ginagamit na values for length and width? Ang sabi, the perimeter is 100 cm. Then, we can think that the width can be our x, then the length must be equal to what? Yan. So, we have 2x's for our width kasi dalawa siya. Then, we have 100 minus x and 100 minus x as our length. Dalawa rin siya. We know that perimeter is the total measure of the enclosure of a two-dimensional figure. Pag sinabing enclosure, ayun po yung mga total lengths ng mga sides nila. While sa area naman, pinag-uusapan natin the total measure of the space occupied by a figure, yung loob naman. Siyempre, kasama pa rin yung edges. So, going back, we can let W be equal to X and length be equal to 100 pa ba yung gagamitin natin? And since we have this identity, we can let a single length be equal to 50 minus the width. So, ito na po yung mga identity na gagamitin natin pag-compute ng maximum and minimum values. To get the value of y, we need to multiply length and width. So, that is 50 minus x times x. Continuing our solution, we have y is equal to 50x minus x squared. Pagkatapos, ganun ulit, set na natin yung values ng a, b, and c. We have our a, since baliktad siya, a is equal to negative 1, b is equal to positive 50, at since wala ka nakikitang constant, c is equal to 0. Ano yung susunod? We need to solve for the value of h, which is negative b over 2a, k, which is c minus b squared over 4a. Substitute natin yung values, negative 50 over 2 times negative 1 is equal to the value of h, and for our k, we have 0, diba? Minus 50 squared over 4 negative 1. Then we have 50 over 2, since we can cancel out the negative sign already, or we can simply say it is equal to 25. Now, for the value of k, we have k is equal to 0 minus 50 times 50. We have 25 hundreds all over negative 4. Then k is equal to 2,500 divided by 4. Cancel out the negative sign, 625. Since h is the value of our maximum input and k is the value of our maximum output, our value for x is 25 and the value for our y will be 625. Since we knew for a fact that we are going to modify our rectangle, it will look like this. We have x, x, 50 minus x, and 50 minus x as the length of our sides or our length and width. Now, since h is 25, then 50 minus x will also be 25. Di ba katulad sa problem 1 natin, that the minimum and maximum value should always have the same values for x and yung second number na constant minus x. The reason behind it, sa geometry ganun din, mas makikita natin siya. Ang maximum area na pwede nating ma-occupy using the dimensions of a rectangle is always a perfect square. Ganun po yon. So, ibig sabihin, kung meron kang 25 na length at 25 na width, using length times width, the maximum value for the length and width is 25 by 25, meaning the value of our k, which is 625 cm squared, should be our final answer as the maximum area possible for a rectangle having perimeter of 100 cm. So ayun na nga, we're down to our last example. Here it goes. Find the largest area which the farmer can enclose with 56 meters of fencing materials. So, try nyo i-follow yung second example natin and masasagutan nyo na ang learning task na ito. Check nyo kung tama yung sagot nyo. Let's solve this. So, these are the given. The perimeter is 56 meters and the dimensions are all given. So, para makuha uli natin yung identity na pasok para sa ating maximum value ng ating area, we need to use perimeter is equal to 2 length plus 2 width. So, ang perimeter natin ay 56 meters is equal to, ang length mo daw ay dalawa yung x plus dalawa rin yung 28 minus x. Ano na mangyayari sunod? Dividing both sides together by 2 para ma-simplify natin yung ating equations. So we will come up with 28 is equal to x plus 28 minus x. Canceling the values of 2. So yun po yung magiging identity natin na P is equal to length plus width. Next, to get the maximum values of the area, we can have length times width. Tama po ba? And so, we will have the maximum area y is equal to x times 28 minus x. So we have y is equal to x times 28 minus x. Distribute mo lang yung value ng x. Y is equal to 28x minus x squared. Now, we have the value of a, -1, the value of b, 28, and the value of c, wala naman siya, so 0. And solve for the value of h, which is -b over 2a, and the value of k na c minus b squared over 4a. Solve na natin. We have -28 over 2 times -1 as the value of our h. Then that is, canceling the value of our negative sign, 28 over 2 is 14. For the value of k, we have 0 minus 28 squared over 4 times -1. K is equal to 28 times 28. So 784 over 4. Canceling out the negative sign. Then K is equal to 196. Yan. So, ang magiging side daw ng ating square, apat yan, will be equal to 14 meters. And so, if our h is 14 meters, then the maximum area will be at y is equal to 14 times 14 or equal sa 196 square meters or yung value ng K natin. So guys, that's all for today. That will wrap up definitely our first quarter. So sana nag-enjoy kayo sa first leg ng ating journey sa Mathematics 9. I hope to see you guys sa ating second, third, fourth quarter at sana maging mas malaki pa ang community natin para sabay-sabay tayong matuto habang nagdi-distance learning tayo. So again, this is yours truly, Sir Marki, saying goodbye, good luck, and see you next quarter. Bye!